Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
How do you feel about US President threatening to destroy the whole civilization of Iran and civilian lifelines like power plant, bridges and desalination plants? Why are we paying taxes for dismantling the Forest Service and a war in Iran? Good question. I don't have an answer, but I will acknowledge that the question is solid. Because Israel wants us to, and private interests want to buy up public land. Trump is a dangerous lunatic. His cabinet and Congress are allowing it to happen. They are as complicit at this point. Criminally complicit. He should be removed from office immediately, but Republicans in Congress are the biggest cowards out there. They are not cowards. They support this. People who literally can't find Iran on a map will turn around and tell you Iran deserves this somehow. I'm not a fan of the Iranian government at all, and the way they treat their population is horrible. However, bombing a country without a credible threat to yourself is illegal, immoral and absolutely disgusting. Threatening to destroy the whole civilization is just, I have no words, and bizarre. Don't forget that. Hey, this regime is terrible. They killed 30,000 protesters. Let's kill them all instead. I have words. War crime. They hate us for our freedoms. Intentionally destabilizing their nations so we can freely steal their natural resources and labor. Robber barons and pedophile billionaires. If he bombs infrastructure and they don't oust him for committing war crimes, the cabinet and Congress are complicit and should be hauled off to The Hague if they ever leave the US again. Yeah, the US is well known for holding its war criminals accountable. Which is why Kissinger died at home at 99. Even George W. Bush hasn't been punished. Every sitting member of Congress holds responsibility for this if it actually happens. If that tweet wasn't enough evidence to question his current state of mind, nothing will ever suffice to meet that bar. The tweet is already in the record, so is the silence that followed it. Both will be cited, only one will be defended. MAGA is a brainwashed cult. Disgusted and outraged. Normal people are outraged, the worst of society. Trump supporters love this. He's 100% losing support from this war and gas prices. So, his approval rating will drop to 38% from 39%. He needs to be forcefully removed from office ASAP. He's threatening to kill tens of millions of innocent civilians. He is also a threat to have Americans killed within the USA because Iran will one way or the other find a way to retaliate. If he actually did use a nuclear weapon, I think we'd have more to worry about than just Iran. That would be a Nazi, Hitler-level atrocity. I miss when US presidents had trace amounts of virtue. Hell, even when they had to put on a facade of virtue. Yes, we could at least pretend Obama was a decent man in our day-to-day life. Fuck, I'd take Bush Jr. At this point. Heart drop TBH. Gutted, disgusted. I hope he is doing it for market manipulation and not actually going to follow through with his saying. That's a hell of a thing to say. Fucking crazy timeline. Well, he just made his personal criminal defense lawyer the Attorney General of the United States, so war crimes and market manipulation could both be on the table for this President of the United States. 10-1 there's a taco inbound. The post right above this on my Reddit is saying that Trump will delay the deadline if he sees a deal in progress. Makes me sick. I feel helpless, nauseous, angry. I've felt that way since November 2024. I feel like we've all aged 10 years since then. I've felt that way since 2016. The Biden years were a bit of a break, but fucking Trump was still in the news cycle every fucking day. He hasn't shut up in 10 years, just constantly spewing hatred, cruelty, and stupidity. And now sane Americans have to live with knowing roughly 50% of voters were totally okay with that. My wife's parents and brother with his family live there. We are extremely nervous. May your family be safe through this nightmare. Heart, hands, medium light skin tone. Thank you. Let's hope for the best. Love and peace to everyone. It's a genocide he is threatening. Let's be clear. I'm fucking terrified. My entire adult life has been dominated by this man's political career and I'm on the verge of breaking. Not feeling good, boss. His hate will destroy America. American apathy towards his actions is destroying America. America's reputation is already destroyed. Most Europeans, me included, hate your guts. I'll be in Europe on vacation in a few weeks. I'm excited to see the difference between Reddit grandstanding and reality. 25th. Long overdue, cowards. While most sensible human beings would agree with you, Vance and Hegseth and Rubio and company wouldn't go along with it. Hitler should have been removed as well, but we know how that went. This type of evil supports itself. Turd is actually threatening to commit war crimes and crimes against humanity. I know his cabinet is entirely made of yes men. But the fact that Congress and Senate do absolutely nothing against him shows how deeply corrupt and inept the US institutions have become. He opened the war by bombing a school. He's been doing war crimes. This is what the pro-life party wants, I guess. I used to be proud that as an American, we would help people in need. The whole world hates us now due to one asshole. Your government has always oppressed third world nations to maintain their hegemony. They are just more open about it now. This is not the first time. I mean, did the US ever actually do that though? Just from benevolence, or was there always something to gain? The US has been closer to a villain for half of the world, rather than a hero. Several current regimes are in power all over the Middle East and Central America because of US interests. It's definitely worse now, but I don't think the US has ever been the good guys you think they are. There are no good guys. The US has been good to many countries and bad to many countries. Now it is bad to all, except the most corrupt few thanks to Trump. 90% of your country's existence has been at war. You've interfered in so many third countries it's not even laughable, some of those even being your allies, Operation Gladio. It's not because of a lunatic, your country has always been an imperialist state. Help people in need, my ass. Ask Peru or Argentina or Brazil how your dictatorships help them. When has America ever been about helping people in need? Unless those in need are corrupt dictators needing to be propped up. They believe their own propaganda so fucking much it's laughable. 77 million people voted for him, and the rest of us live side by side with them and failed to bring them into reality with us. And another 90 million sat by and decided, you know what, I can't be asked choosing who to vote for, so I am totally fine with that deranged guy having a second go. Doesn't matter what we think. Too many Americans are supportive of this man, and many more are complacent by not paying attention, not voting on election day, or keeping the Republican Party viable and successful, which underwrites this mess. I'm sick of 33% of the country dictating how the rest of us ought to live our lives. MAGA truly is the tyranny of the minority. He won by popular vote in 2024, receiving roughly the same number of votes in 2020, about 74 million Republican votes for both elections. The increase was minuscule, only about 140,000 votes, an increase of less than 0.1%. It is the Democrats themselves who didn't come out to the polls for Kamala. In 2020, 81 million Democrats voted for Joe Biden. In 2024, only 70 million Democrats showed up for Kamala. So where were the missing 11 million Democrat voters in 2024? They decided to stay home, full well knowing the danger and existential threat. The combined racism and/or sexism of Democrat voters prevented them from voting. In the end, after all other variables were accounted for, that's the only reasonable answer remaining. Trump represents an average American. He was elected after all. American might dislike some of his policies, as you do with any government, but not to the extent to do something about it. You can't threaten to destroy an entire civilization and still be the good guy. Simulation is glitching when that's just Tuesday news we scroll past. USA is inarguably a terrorist country today. Like, how are you supposed to wrap head around that? I want him hauled off by his feet. America has lost its way. We are witnessing the fall of Rome in real time. I'm hoping for a Nero's end situation pretty soon. I feel like everyone in Washington, D.C. is failing us by not preventing the Cheeto from committing these war crimes. I am amazed at the number of people in the administration who will no longer be able to travel abroad without risk of arrest. And how about those Epstein files? How about those files where Donald Trump raped children? Raped children, raped children. Pre-planning a genocide should invoke Article 25. The whole world is affected because of your orange president. To be fair, some of the Americans are tutting at a modest volume in the background. Trump can't possibly survive that for long, S. I have stopped having words for my hatred of this man and everyone who enables him. Evil is the closest I can get. Hitler of the West. Germany is a Westerner country. Checks and balance. Anyone? Congress checked out a while ago. Removed. I don't even know French, but I got the gist of that. Decent people do not talk like this. No one ever accused Donald Trump of being decent. The protests are cute, but what we need is a general strike and the refusal to pay taxes. Money is all that his supporters in Congress understand. I just hope there is someone in the room with the courage to stop him from launching a nuke and triggering a cascading series of events that leads to a nuclear apocalypse. There is not. All of those people have been fired. We told you Trump was the Antichrist 9 years ago. No one listened. Unfortunately, the system is designed for speed and decisiveness. It's not designed to debate the decision. Even saying this out loud should shock people. Civilian infrastructure is not some casual bargaining chip. Normalizing that kind of rhetoric is how atrocities get excused before they happen. It's a crime against humanity. Trump should be brought to Nuremberg and tried by the international community, like previous Nazis before him. From the verdict of the first trial, the International Military Tribunal agreed with the prosecution that aggression was the gravest charge, stating in its judgment that because war is essentially an evil thing, to initiate a war of aggression, therefore, is not only an international crime, it is the supreme international crime, differing only from other war crimes in that it contains within itself the accumulated evil of the whole. I hate Trump and have voted against him every time, and I keep getting told that all I can do is stand around with a sign, or vote again in now 2 years and hope it goes better. I am sick of the shit. I want to do more to stop this but don't know how. And this is probably going to get flagged as hate speech or something stupid. American here. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate him and everything he stands for. I hate his enablers and how much greed, corruption, apathy, and the defunding of education in my nation has caused us to become this terrible antithesis of what I was told the US used to be as a child. I believe 90% of his administration should be in jail for traitorous acts against this nation, along with the horrible war crimes and crimes against humanity they are committing currently in Iran. That won't happen though, so I continue to wait for that headline so that I can celebrate accordingly.